Hello and welcome to my channel, your go-to source for the latest in WWE 24. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for all the updates. Let's dive right in. Triple H's close ally abruptly left WWE recently. Now, a wrestling veteran has commented on his departure. Bully Ray commented on Road Dogg's WWE exit. Road Dogg is a name that is familiar to WWE fans. After a successful in-ring career, Road Dogg took on a backstage role in WWE, where he worked for several years. He was the co-lead writer for SmackDown since last year. However, he suddenly left WWE after receiving his annual review. Road Dogg was reportedly unhappy about the feedback in his review, and he decided to resign from his role. Speaking on the Busted Open radio, Bully Ray speculated that the stress of being part of the creative team finally got to him. "I think him being involved with creative possibly had finally got to him, the stress of it, or maybe he didn't like some of the things that were being done, what he heard, what he saw," Ray said. And he's like, "You know what? This ain't for me anymore." H/TPW-mania. Triple H had taken over the creative direction from Vince McMahon a few years ago. Initially, the company's creative direction was going in the right direction. However, the game has come under scrutiny for various reasons over the past year. A lot of fans have been unhappy with many stars booking in recent months. During the same podcast, Bully Ray said that Triple H and Shawn Michaels became huge stars by pushing boundaries and taking risks. He suggested that they should allow other stars to do the same. "They know what it's like to go out there and organically get over," Ray said. "So maybe let some other people do that too." H/TPW-mania. It will be interesting to see how Road Dogg's departure will affect the creative direction moving forward. For months the air backstage at WWE had crackled with anticipation. Wrestlemania 42, the grandest stage of them all, was less than 6 weeks away, and the landscape of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown was shaping up for what many insiders described as the most emotionally charged build-up in years. Superstars were riding high, contracts were being renegotiated, and fresh rivalries were igniting on every brand. And then, unexpectedly, one of the most trusted members of Triple H's inner circle quietly walked away. The news landed like a shockwave. Sources inside WWE confirmed that a veteran performer, someone not just respected for his in-ring legacy but revered for his leadership and influence in the locker room, asked for and was granted his release from the company. This happened with little warning, mere weeks before WrestleMania 42, at a time when every creative decision, every handshake, every promo is amplified by the looming pressure cooker of the Showcase of the Immortals. Today, for the first time, longtime WWE star and locker room sentinel Rick the Patriot Master sat down in an emotional, candid interview to talk about what really happened, why his close friend, ally, and creative partner chose to leave, and how the backstage world has changed in the galloping lead-up to WWE's biggest weekend of the year. A veteran's view, not just another departure. Masters, a respected figure with over 2 decades of experience in WWE, isn't one to speak lightly. He's seen the industry transform, from territorial wrestling, to the Attitude Era, to the modern sports entertainment machine WWE has become under Vince McMahon, and now under the creative leadership of Paul Triple H Levesque. This wasn't your typical talent mismatch or contract stalemate, Master says, leaning forward, eyes intent. "We're talking about someone who has given a huge chunk of his life to this business, a guy who helped shape stories, mentored younger talent, and was a trusted advisor to Triple H himself. This departure wasn't about money, or ego. It was about trust, respect, and creative fulfillment, or the lack thereof." When pressed for names, Masters remains respectful, pitching his voice low but firm. "I can't out anyone," he says, "but you know who I mean. A guy that people in that locker room trusted. And that's what makes this sting." Sources tell me, separately, that the person in question was not a current world champion nor a headline superstar. Instead, he was a creative linchpin, Someone whose fingerprints were all over recent storytelling decisions and draft strategies. A backstage strategist, a guiding voice, and an emotional compass for many locker room relationships. Tension behind the curtain. What people outside don't see is the pressure cooker that Wrestlemania season becomes, Masters explains. Everyone is trying to secure their position, finalize their storylines, and ensure their legacy. But it also brings tension, conflict, and ultimately tough choices. When asked what specifically caused his ally to walk away, Masters doesn't mince words. He felt like his creative contributions were being overlooked. That despite all of the work he put in, the late nights, early mornings, those travel days when most of the roster was asleep, he wasn't being heard. And more importantly, he felt like the direction the creative team was moving in right now wasn't aligned with what he believed WWE should stand for. He pauses. That's not easy to walk away from, especially before Wrestlemania. It's easy to assume the decision was impulsive. But Masters shakes his head. This was thought out. This wasn't a tantrum. This was someone who weighed his options, his mental state, his legacy, and said, I can't keep doing this if I feel like I'm not valued. And listen, that's something a lot of guys go through, even if they don't ever say it out loud. The relationship with Triple H, respect, but not without strain. One of the most intriguing aspects of this story is the dynamic between the departing talent and Triple H, the man responsible for WWE's creative vision, especially since taking over McMahon's previous role. Masters is quick to emphasize, there's respect there. Without question. But respect doesn't always mean agreement. According to Masters, the core of the conflict stemmed from creativity and direction, not personal dislike. We all know Triple H loves this business. He breathed new life into WWE when it needed it. But sometimes even the best visionaries hit a wall, they lose perspective. And that's when you want your creative team, the people closest to you, to push back, challenge ideas, offer alternatives. My friend felt like his voice was getting quieter. When asked if there were specific incidents, Masters hesitates. I'm not here to air backstage laundry. But let's just say there were moments during the last creative meeting where he raised concerns about story arcs, talent positioning, and he felt his words didn't land. And that was a breaking point. Inside WrestleMania 42, chaos, loyalty, and unfinished dreams. With WrestleMania 42 set to unfold at the iconic Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas, WWE has been promoting stacked match cards, celebrity appearances, and emotional rematches. Rumors of surprise returns and twist finishes have fueled fan speculation. But behind the curtain? According to Masters, it's been a different story. We're down players. We're down voices. And that changes things. WrestleMania season is like a chess game with 32 moves planned. And then someone walks off the board. By most accounts, the departed ally had been intricately involved in several key WrestleMania plotlines. His abrupt exit reportedly forced creative rewrites in segments involving talent he had mentored or helped shape. Masters nods gravely. Some of the greatest moments in WWE history happened because someone out there cared enough to fight for an idea. That's what he did. And when that involvement suddenly ends, weeks before the biggest show of the year, yeah, the ripple effects are real. Locker room fallout, fear, frustration, and a test of culture. Masters describes two emotional reactions among his peers. 1. Fear. You look around and think, if someone disestablished and respected is walking away, what does that say about the rest of us? There's a fear something bigger is happening behind closed doors. 2. Frustration. A lot of guys feel creatively stifled. They want opportunities to grow, to contribute, to be part of something meaningful. But organizational bureaucracy makes it hard. These sentiments, while not unique to WWE, are amplified in a company where character, personality, and narrative are everything. I don't think WWE is some monolithic villain, Masters clarifies. But I do think that at times, It can feel like a conveyor belt that moves fast. Too fast. And people get left behind. The cost of loyalty in professional wrestling. One of the central themes Masters returns to throughout the interview is this, loyalty, and what it truly costs. My friend was as loyal as they come, he says. He lived this business. He defended people when they needed it. He was there through injuries, personal crises, creative ups and downs. But loyalty doesn't guarantee perpetual welcome. Masters' voice carries a note of sorrow, but also pride. Walking away from something you love, especially when it's your life's work, takes courage. And it also takes self-respect. He didn't want to fade away quietly. He wanted to leave with dignity. He leans back. And sometimes that's more powerful than a WrestleMania moment. Reactions from other locker room leaders. Although WWE has not issued an official statement regarding the departure, word has spread within the locker room. A few senior talents, under condition of anonymity, shared their take with this writer. One WWE main eventer said, "I completely get it. You can give your blood, sweat, and identity to this place, and if you feel unheard, it eats at you. I just hope he knows he's respected." Another mid-card star remarked, "It's a big loss creatively. He helped a lot of guys find themselves." There's a shared sense of admiration, tinged with tension, that this departure may signal a need for structural reevaluation within the organization. Whether that change arrives before WrestleMania or after remains uncertain. Triple H's silent statement. Remarkably, Triple H has not publicly commented on the departure. No acknowledgements on social media, no official WWE press release, no segment on Raw or SmackDown. Masters explains that, in his experience, Triple H tends to process internally before speaking publicly. But he also suggests this silence may be strategic. Sometimes not saying anything says everything. And other times, it's just unfinished business. Whatever the reason, wrestlers backstage are left to read between the lines. A turning point for WrestleMania season. With WrestleMania 42 just weeks away, WWE's creative engine is going to be tested like never before. Masters remains hopeful. "I've been part of unbelievable WrestleMania moments, moments that defined careers, changed lives, and brought millions together. If WrestleMania 42 can deliver that same magic, then we'll know WWE is still a place of possibility." But he adds a caution. Magic happens when people feel invested. When voices matter. When every person, from the newest NXT signee to the veteran in the back, feels like they're part of something bigger than themselves. That's the heart of this story, a departure not just of a man, but of a voice, a loss not just of a performer, but of a visionary spirit. Final thoughts, legacy, loss, and the future. As our interview winds down, Masters reflects on broader implications. Wrestling is about stories. It's about emotion. It's about connection. And WWE has the capacity to tell the greatest stories ever. But sometimes, those stories need more than one voice in the room. He pauses, then says something that feels like both a warning and a wish. When the locker room speaks, people listen. And when they stop listening, that's when legends walk out the door. Whether this departure will catalyze meaningful change within WWE's creative culture, or become a footnote overshadowed by WrestleMania theatrics, remains to be seen. For now, one thing is certain, the road to WrestleMania 42 has just become even more unpredictable, even more emotional, and even more consequential.